Say his name. Jabari Latrell Peoples was unalived by a Homewood police officer in Alabama on June 23rd. Now, I'm going to tell you on June 24th, an autopsy was done 12 hours later, and the family wasn't notified until the coroner was asking them to find a funeral home to come pick him up. Now, please explain to me how an autopsy is done without no identification of the body, nothing. I don't want to hear that, he was 18 and that's an adult. I don't understand why this country is trying to frame 18-year-olds as an adult when we know damn well that an 18-year-old was just raising their damn hand to go to the bathroom just last week when they were in school. But here we are. The family is asking for them to release the body cam footage and the dash cam footage because they claim to have body cam footage of the entire incident. If you have it, why haven't you at least made sure that the family attorney has gone in there to see it? Now, the witness that was with him states the story that the police are peddling is totally different than what was absolutely experienced that night. They stated that they were sitting in the vehicle and an unmarked pulls up with a person who didn't have anything identifiable on them, tapping on the window, telling them to exit the vehicle. They complied, and within minutes, Jabari was taken down to the ground and unalived. This was a college student that had dreams and plans and, never had issues, never had troubles like this. Now, let the police tell it. They state that they were sitting in an area that had been recently experiencing a lot of crime. Any people from Alabama want to corroborate that story? Because that seems like, foundation level number one of fuckery. But this was Homewood Soccer Park. He states that he was in a marked cruiser, he was in uniform, and he smelled the devil's lettuce. We already know that that is baseline number two to corroborate fuckery and bullshit. Now, he told them to exit the vehicle, sees a pew pew in the door pocket, and attempts to handcuff Jabari. So you didn't read his rights. You didn't tell him what he was being arrested for. And I say this because later on they say how long it takes for backup to arrive. So if you can be that detailed in your description, you could be detailed in that, you read him his rights and you told him why you were asking him to exit his vehicle and you told him why you were placing him under arrest, or were you just slapping the cuffs on him? Now, he said after he, was standing here talking to him or whatever and trying to handcuff him, a physical struggle ensued and the officer was knocked to the ground. So now you got yourself in a situation where you should have called for backup in the first place, is what you're trying to say. But please explain to me how you didn't have any marks or whatever there, because there's none detailed in the things that, were released to the public. And it seems like with every other fine detail that was added to this statement, that would have been in there. But there was nothing. Now, apparently, Jabari broke away and was attempting to go for the pew pew because the door was still open. Now, it says that he broke away to get the pew pew because the door was still open. This was an immediate threat for him, and so therefore the officer had no choice but to use deadly force. Jabari fell to the ground, still gripping the pew pew. Now, my thing is, if he was going for the pew pew and you were able to utilize deadly force, wouldn't you have got him before he got to the door? Y'all see that little inconsistency there? Apparently, the officer said he gave, multiple commands. The officer then calls for emergency backup. The female occupant ran into the woods. Medics were then requested. But if medics were requested then, why didn't you, the person who shot him, start rendering life-saving measures? Isn't that your job? Backup came within a minute and 36 seconds, and they immediately started rendering aid. So you mean to tell me in all of this, it was a minute and 36 seconds? If you knew that precisely, then you can release that body cam footage, right? The person who ran into the woods comes back and they secure this person in the back of his cruiser. Jabari unfortunately passes away at UAB. Again, all of this was caught on the body cam footage, which ALEA has taken possession of. Now, arrangements are supposed to be being made for the family to view this footage. So, what do y'all need? To rent a hall or something? Y'all need a screen? What is taking so long for this family to get what they need? Jabari's family, of course, is demanding for a public release of the body cam footage, the dash cam footage, and any other footage that is available in regards to this incident. Now, they were also asked if the family would accept what happened if the video backs up the police account. At this point, no. I'm going to say no. I can't speak for the family. But if it's taking you this long, what's to say y'all are not going to use some AI measures? Because you should have absolutely had that attorney in there to view that body cam footage. I don't care who, is supposed to have to say his name because his life mattered. Jabari Latrell Peoples, because his story will not be rewritten this way. He was a law abiding citizen who wanted to go into law enforcement. His family deserves justice. His family deserves to see that body cam footage in its totality. And that officer needs to answer for what occurred that night.